tonight. So excited. I hear that we're going to get back together real soon. I get to go to Jam City and do memory verses and do all kinds of other stuff with you guys. So excited to see you guys on a regular basis. Anyway, let me turn it over to Pastor Gilbert. Take it away, Pastor Gilbert.
Thank you, Masters Dub. Well, kids, happy Wednesday. Some of you have already started school, so, it's been, almost 6 months since we've been having Royal Rangers and Girls Ministries. March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah, 6 months, kids. 26 weeks we're almost. That's a half a year. But we're going to be getting together real soon. Next couple of weeks, we're going to make some announcements. Being able to come back to church. But we're going to do social distancing. You're all going to have to wear a mask. I made a mask. Let me show you what it looks like here. There you go. I don't know about you guys, but I've been playing with different crazy designs. Here's one. You see it's got my Chiefs colors, feathers, got a Chief symbol, and a little Chief right there. Because we're already getting into football season. We haven't even finished baseball season yet, but we're getting ready to do football season. So I started making a few masks, so I don't know if you guys have been creative. I mean, there was not much you can do when you're at home other than go walk the dog or something like that if you have a dog. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to the team so they can say welcome back to school. For most of you, you're probably doing it online. You're probably not going to a regular class just yet, but some of them have already started school online. And I know, what else can we do until we get back to regular school? Some of you guys probably like being home online. Anyway, let me turn it over to the team. Take it away, team.
Hey guys, this is Commander Tom. I'm out here on the back deck. I'm smoking a pork loin, as you can see, cooking in the back there. Today we're going to talk about being spiritual. Praise, reads the Bible, and witnesses. Y'all going back to school now. Some of you starting next week. I know Victoria with her work started this week, and she's been working every day this week so far. Spiritual, praise, read the Bible, and witnesses. You guys got a big hand to deal here with going back to school and everything. Sorry, I got a fly flying on me. Going back to school and everything. Pray before you go to school. Read your Bible, maybe at night in the evening after you get your homework done. And witness to your classmates, because a lot of things going on in this world. A lot of kids are confused, especially if they don't go to church. So pray for your classmates. Pray that you have an opening to witness to them and tell them the good news about Jesus. Cooking pork loin. We're just kind of kicking back. We're waiting for church to start again. Well, Sundays have started. We're waiting for Wednesday nights to start up again. We're anxious. Me, Miss Victoria, Miss Rhonda. We're all anxious to see you guys again, because it's been since March since we've seen you. And it's been a long time. We miss you guys. All right, remember, spiritual, praise, reads the Bible, and witnesses. We thank you guys. Hope to see you soon. That was the neighbor's dog barking. Hope to see you soon, and I'm going to eat good tonight. So we'll talk to you later, guys. Love you. Bye.
Hey guys, I'm sitting here in the sports complex for our local high school where my kids go to school. I'm sitting right here next to the football field. The baseball field's over in front of me next to the softball field, and there's soccer fields over there and tennis courts. High school is over here nearby. But of course, right now, there's no one here. School is out. The kids are all home. They're all on quarantine right now because of the current situation. And it's kind of sad because this time of year, normally these fields would be bustling with activity. There'd be all kinds of kids out here practicing, getting ready for their season that's coming up, or in the middle of a season. But yet right now, there's a lot of concern over what's going to happen with our sports seasons. A lot of our games have been canceled. In some cases, in some situations, the entire season has been canceled. So there's a lot of worry, a lot of kind of frustration over that. But it kind of causes us to wonder about the promises of God. This week when you've been looking at the Bible lessons, we've been talking about the promises of God and how God has promised to take care of us. He's promised to provide for us. He's our healer. He's our protector. There are many wonderful things that the Bible tells us about the promises of God and how we can rely on Him in so many ways. And yet when we face situations like this, sometimes we can't help but wonder. This doesn't really make sense. I mean, if He's promised to take care of us, if He's promised to provide for us, if He's promised to be our healer and our protector, why is it that He allows bad things to happen? You ever notice that? I mean, sometimes bad things happen even to good people. I mean, you can kind of almost understand when bad things might happen to a bad person. Well, maybe God's bringing judgment on them or He's punishing them for something. But what if you've been living a good life and you've been doing the right thing? I mean, shouldn't you be able to rely on the promises of God and just say, well, life is always going to be good. God's going to always take care of me. Once I become a Christian, I should never get sick again. We should always have enough money. We should never have any problems in our family. Everyone should love each other and the world should be a wonderful place every day. And yet that's not really what the Bible shows us. That's not really what the Bible tells us. If you look in the stories in the Old Testament, you actually see many examples of godly, righteous people who experienced really bad things. I mean, like, for example, think of Daniel, who prayed to God and was honoring God and doing everything he could to live a good life, and yet he was thrown in a lion's den to be eaten alive by lions. Or you think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who were honoring God and doing the right thing, and they were thrown into a fiery furnace to try to be burned alive. Or you think about the Apostle Paul in the New Testament. He was the greatest missionary that ever lived, traveling the known world at the time, planting churches and spreading the gospel. And yet repeatedly you see he's shipwrecked, he's whipped nearly to death. At one point they beat him so badly they thought he was dead and dragged his bloody body outside the city and left him to rot. And yet in all these situations, these were righteous people doing good things, and yet God allowed bad things to happen to them. So something doesn't make sense there. Why is it that God can promise to take care of us, and yet sometimes that doesn't happen? He doesn't allow that to happen. Sometimes He allows bad things to happen. So the question that we're looking at today is, can we really trust God? Can we trust the promises of God? And how do we know that God is still looking out for us? And how do we know that God still really loves us and cares about us when He allows bad things to happen? Well, the truth is, God never promised that we would never have problems once we become a Christian. He never said that we would never have any more trouble. In fact, because of these stories in the Bible that we see bad things happening to good people, we see time and time again examples of where God allows bad things to happen. And sometimes, maybe it's because it ended up better for that person. That person grew and matured and became a better person because of it. Their faith was strengthened because of it. When we look at this in the book of James, chapter 1, James is writing to us and he says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." So think about that. I mean, James is actually saying, rejoice, be glad, be happy when bad things happen. Why? Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. So maybe it could be that God is bringing bad things in our lives. He allows problems and challenges and troubles to take place because He's trying to build our character. He's trying to grow us into a better person. Maybe God is more concerned about developing our character than He is about facilitating our comfort. Maybe He's more concerned about shaping you into the person He created you to be than giving you a nice, comfortable life where everything just floats along. When I think about these sports fields here, the guys over here on this football field, if they're going to play football, they don't just go out there the day of the game and jump in there and hope they do good. They've got to come here every afternoon. They're working hard. They're lifting weights inside the building. They're coming out here and running laps. You know, they're tackling those dummies. They're working hard because they're building their bodies up, because it's that work that prepares them for the game. And without that work, without that stress and strain on their bodies, they wouldn't be ready for the game. And in the same way, we spiritually, if we're going to grow and be prepared for the things that God has for us, sometimes God has to put some stress and strain on us. Sometimes he has to give us a spiritual workout to cause us to shape and to grow into the person he created us to be. And sometimes that's painful, just like these guys over here on the field. I mean, I'm sure there are many days when they would think they would much rather be sitting on the couch eating Twinkies and watching a movie than to be doing the workouts that they're doing here in the sun, stressing their muscles. But yet they know doing this is going to cause them to win the game, where sitting at home on the couch is not. And in the same way, God is more concerned about shaping your character than he is in facilitating your comfort. And he's going to bring bad times into our lives, and he's going to allow challenges to come because he knows that's what's going to shape our character, and we can trust him for it. There's another verse in Hebrews that says, without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. So much of what we do in this Christian life is all about trusting God. We don't always know why God allows things to happen. We don't always see the end result. We don't know why God would allow this situation to cause all these kids who are looking forward to this sports season to lose out on what they were looking forward to for so long. We don't understand everything. We don't always have the answers. But we can always trust God. We can trust that his promises are true, even though in some situations he may suspend that. He may allow bad things to happen, because ultimately we know that God is doing everything for our benefit. And we just have to have faith and trust that he's doing it. And finally, there's one more verse in Romans 8:28. It says, and we know that in all things God works for good to those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. We can trust God that no matter what we're facing, no matter what circumstances are around us, no matter what kind of craziness may be going on today, you can trust God that his promises are true. He's always going to be there. We can rely on him. And everything that happens, he's working out